Good evening and welcome back. Today we will try to carry on our training program and we will try to attempt an evening workout which hasn't happened for a long time. This is going to be an experiment just to see if it's any better to film during the evening or late evening rather than make it during the day. Because if the gyms would be a little bit less busy, I would have more choice in terms of equipment, and I would probably could get into more detail regarding to my training as well. I had a really good day, spent it with my family. It's my day off, so we went for breakfast, coffee, then we had some family program. Then I did carry on during the day with some more coffee and video editing, and after dinner and after I put my daughter in bed, it's time for pre-workout and to hit the gym. In a couple of minutes we will meet Stefan, my cameraman, the guy who's helping me filming, helped me with the last video as well, and we will carry on from there. See you. Okay, so here we are in the car, an absolute trash over weather. Look at that. Just look at that weather. So I think we need to hurry up just before Stefan gets absolutely soaking wet. Let's pick him up quickly. There he is.
It's a bit cold, isn't it?
It's a bit trash out there. This is the man. Now let's go. Here we go again. This time it's push. So this is the next episode to what we did last time. We did the pull, today's push, and then we will attempt legs. To begin with, this is going to be exactly the same like we did last time. So it's going to be a warm-up from top to bottom. I'm not gonna film that today because it's literally no point. You can watch it in the other video. But what I will show you and put some emphasis on is the elastic band shoulder warm-up, which is, I think, very, very important before such a hard day for your shoulder joints. And after we've done that, we go and crack on. So in terms of push, because I managed to train with this new split every single muscle pretty much every third or fourth day, I will have one chest focused push day, and the second one is going to be a shoulder focused push day. That doesn't mean that on my chest focused push day I'm not training shoulders at all. It just means that I put more emphasis on the chest, also because the bigger muscle, and on the second push day I will introduce some more shoulder exercises and some shoulder push workouts as well, which today I won't have. So today, because we have chest focused push workout, we will focus more on the chest and on the mid delts, which is going to include a lot more lateral raises and mid delt exercises rather than pushing movements, which we will already do whilst we're doing the chest. So enough talking, let's get to the warm-up and then let's smash it. How busy and loud it is at this time. We're talking about almost midnight really, but I hope the sound is good and you'll hear what I'm trying to explain to you. So in terms of the resistant band. This is something which I always do, as I said, before my push exercises, shoulder and chest day, because it really helps loosen up the shoulder joints and warming up the liquids to lubricate the joints in order to not suffer an injury, ideally, which we don't want. And especially if you're planning to lift heavy for the day, you really need to look after your joint in order to give you longevity and not struggle with injuries time to time. Basically, after I've done my my full warm-up upper body and a little bit of lower body, play around with the elastic band. So first I try to do shoulder extensions just in front of me. This is working more the real delt and the laterals. So just getting some fresh blood in there and warming up the muscle, and then gradually I go higher and higher, trying to involve more of the shoulder, the traps, just getting as high as possible, trying to hold it a little bit as well, and then lay it up. And then what I do is full shoulder rotations. So start at the front, go all the way to the back, and go as low as possible, and then back again to the front, all the way to the back, and down low. Just do a good couple of reps again, helping with mobility. And obviously, needless to say that you will need to keep tension on that muscle the whole time, so don't let the elastic band completely loose at any point. Try to spend like 1 to 2 minutes, if obviously you have the time to do it, because it will help you not to start your workout like a stiff bastard. Okay, so it looks like this wasn't as much of a challenge as I thought it will be, but hence why we came this time of the year. Hence why we came this time of the day. Okay, so we're all set now. First exercise is going to be incline dumbbell press. I occasionally mix up dumbbell press with barbell press because I believe that the dumbbell press has more range of motion from any angle. But with the barbell press, you can always use more weight. But the downside of that is that with the barbell press, the weak side is always going to be balanced out by the stronger side, and then you won't feel, if you're only doing barbell press, that you have a muscle imbalance. So it's very important to mix up time to time and do dumbbell instead. What we're going to do here is going to be 4 sets of incline dumbbell press, and then straight after that we'll move not to completely flat. I will show you later. The bench is going to be a little bit higher than flat press because I try to put more focus on my upper pec, which I think is lacking a little bit. And then obviously if you're doing a lot of incline press, your shoulder is going to work a little bit more, and then after chest we can carry on with a good shoulder workout. So the first set the weight doesn't need to be obviously crazy. You need to be careful again to avoid injury, and just need to make sure you do something with a bit more reps. So pump as much blood to the muscle as possible to get it ready for the shock is coming. Working set here. After the first one, just try to make sure that you keep the rest longer and longer. If you at all wanting to reach failure, I don't want to reach failure with this set, I want with the next set, but still I keep decent amount of rest, because otherwise your cardiovascular system will stop you from performing at your best and not your muscle. Yeah. Okay, so this is when shit starts to be really heavy for me. Time to get on rest first of all. So off to our third working set of the incline dumbbell press. I'm going to take a weight which is close to maximum, but not exactly the maximum, because I'm still planning to do flat dumbbell press as well, so I still need energy, so I'm not going to push, as I said, till failure now. I'm going to do it in the next set. The bench for the next exercise, which is going to be, as I said, nearly flat dumbbell press. So I said earlier I'm not going to do completely flat dumbbell press. The reason for that is because I feel like there is a lot less tension on my shoulders whilst I'm doing it this way, and I've got my pecs a lot more engaged rather than doing it completely flat, where maybe I could do a little bit more weight, but for some reason I just feel like I don't get the same intensity and the same fatigue in my pecs. So obviously I do flat dumbbells as well, but I'd rather do the barbell press, barbell bench press, rather than dumbbells when completely flat. So I think it's a fair amount of weight to start targeting failure. Obviously, just touching on the correct form, there's a million of videos on how to press correctly. But I would say just, roughly what do you need to focus on. So when you have the weight pushing you down, you need to make sure you retract your scapula and retract your shoulders, so you're not pushing it from the shoulders. Obviously, shoulders are always going to be a helping muscle for chest, so you can't exclude them 100%, but you need to do your absolute best to take them off the game as much as possible, rather than helping with the shoulders and get less results on the chest. So that's pretty much it. That's what I'm trying to do. No one is perfect. I'm not doing it perfectly either, but you need to focus to be at your absolute best. Physically already as close to failure as you can get without a spotter, but I will try to push it a little bit further because I know there's more. The one thing I want to notice here, I'm noticing some calorie deficit. So obviously since I started this new split 2 weeks ago, I try to keep myself calorie deficit. It's already getting a lot harder to keep up with big weights. It's definitely a lot more struggle. A couple of weeks ago, I did an Insta reel where I was literally playing with 55s, with 50s. Now I couldn't get even close to it, which is good because I know that the nutrition and meal plan works, and calorie deficit will eventually bring its results and will get me a lot leaner, which is the ultimate goal. Slowly get into the business part of things now. Right. This is something that I would definitely struggle to do. Let's see how many reps I'll be able to squeeze out before I need to probably drop it on the floor. Whoa. Absolute nice. I think it's getting there now. Definitely getting there now. Always put your fucking weights back. What we're going to do now, it's been kind of a savage it's been kind of a savage 2 sets. So what I'm going to do now, I try to increase the rest to an extra minute. So I'll do like 3.5 minutes pretty much, and then I will attack the last one with the same weight, trying to do a little bit more the rep range. Obviously that's never guaranteed that's going to happen, so let's hope the best. Getting ready for the last one now. Really good technique, by the way. Before you're trying to do like PRs, obviously this is not PR, nothing to do with it. Before you're trying to do PRs and big lifts, try to have deep breath. So deep in, deep out, like 3-4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, to help you clear your mind. I keep telling everyone who I see they're not breathing correctly, you know? I always keep telling them, just before you start your big lift, just deep breath. That will help you going through it. off to our next location now. We are going to do machine flies, which is going to be this bad boy. So pack flies here. For flies again, I always try to mix it up. So I do dumbbell flies, but what I find a lot better with the cable flies or the fly machine is that I have a lot more resistance on top part of the movement. Obviously from physique, if you're laying down and doing flies, after you reach somewhere here, this point, you no longer have resistance. So this one will give you resistance throughout the whole workout. And also what I try to do to emphasize a little bit on that is to hold in the middle. So basically like a 1 second pause in the middle when probably is the hardest. So let's try to do that. Setting up the deck fly, obviously is up to preference, but me, I prefer to set it up in a way that my hands will end up on the same level with my chest basically. So a little bit higher than nipples, I would say. So rather than lower, where I feel like I engage a lot more arms and biceps, I love to have them somewhere up here. So I feel like I engage more of the whole pec that way. The dose of sets, we only do 3 sets. Basically from every exercise from now we do only 3 sets because we need to incorporate the shoulder workout as well and the triceps, which is going to be quite long. So just need to, from now, we try to keep the rest short and try to do it as fast as possible, because obviously a workout like this shouldn't take a lot longer than 1 hour, so we need to crack on it. To the last one now. For this one I try to use a weight which is close to failure, but we'll still do somewhere around the range of 8 to 12 reps. So you never know with this one when you reach failure, but very, very important with this one as well, just to keep the tension in the very middle. I think I've done the wrong weight here because I meant to do that. And now it's gonna literally rip my arms off. So let's try it. No matter what, just try to keep it in the middle for 1 second. But it would be easy. Everyone can do it, so it's never easy. Moving on to the next one, we are going to do dips, because dips are probably the best example of connection between chest and triceps. Now with triceps and chest, obviously you can move forward, so try to lay forward is going to train more chest, less triceps. If you try to stay straight on the bar whilst doing it, so if you move forward it's going to be more chest. If you try to be straight, it's going to be more triceps. But even if you again move forward, I mean lay forward, it's still going to train the tricep. Now, because we just want to finish the chest workout and move onto the triceps, I will do slightly laying forward. So I finish up the chest and I warm up the triceps. Then we are going to do 2 more tricep exercises, and we'll finish up with the delts, which is going to be the wrap up basically of our night. Depending on the body weight, if the body weight is quite high, it's more than enough to use body weight only. If you're a lean guy or someone who's trying to build muscle and trying to gain weight, after a while getting used to your body weight, I always recommend to attach weight of some form, attach weight of some sort to yourself, so you make it harder for your muscle. At the moment I'm right between the two, so I started only with body weight, which I feel quite comfortable. So for the next 2 sets I'm going to try to just hang up some weight just to see if it's getting more challenging. Also regarding to correct execution, make sure you're not going down very low as you're doing the exercise, because it can damage the shoulder quite easily if you're not careful. And also make sure you're controlling the movement as with everything else the whole way down, so you're not like jumping on it, not use momentum, and when you push out, look out completely so you'll engage the whole triceps, so you take advantage of the whole movement regarding to chest and triceps as well. Still managed 10 on that one, which is quite surprising. I didn't expect myself to do that. Maybe I was resting a little bit too long, but I'm not going to increase the weight. Just try to be here, maybe the rest a little bit shorter. It's going to be alright. Ready for the third and last set of dips. As I said, try to do the same weight. That looks bloody awkward. So, a little bit less rest. Keep the tension. One tricep. So, the okay scenario with this would be to keep the tension on the triceps and have like a 2-second negative on the way back up. So the negative part of the movement, like a 2-second negative, but this handle is so bloody painful that I cannot handle anything more than this. So I feel like my hands are like getting cut in pieces and just broken. So unfortunately, this is how long I'm able to hold it, but regardless, it was a really good 3-set deep exercise, and I feel like chest is completely done. Now it's time to finish the triceps and then to do some shoulders as well. Last location of our workout will be the magic cables. Basically, that will give us the beautiful opportunity to finish our triceps and finish our lateral delts as well. The second tricep exercise we do today is going to be cable crossovers, which is basically, in my opinion, giving you the best range of motion. You need to understand one thing: if you're just starting out training fitness, you need to make the most of your time spent at the gym, and obviously it's all about nutrition as well as training. If your range of motion is not the best, the muscle is not fatigued, is not exhausted, is not worked at its best potential. So with every single exercise, with every single workout we do, as well as using the strength, we need to make sure that the muscle is worked at the highest range of motion possible. So what we're going to do here, obviously, adjust the cables. Just go on the top, and when we're up there, just decent weight, nothing crazy, because it's not going to work. And I will need to move this way around, so I can move backing off, and then when I'm backing off, I lay slightly forward. So this is probably the further I can get on the top part of the movement, and then when I push out, I lock out completely, and then just repeat it. Maybe I bend a little bit more forward and control all the way up, lock out at the bottom. Again, you can apply the 2-second negative rule. That's always beneficial in order to fatigue the muscle, but just try to keep the range of motion. This is going to give you far better results than traditional stuff that my mate showed me, or I just seen in the gym from a random guy. Okay, so second set, just to increase the weight gradually again. Just play with it. So when you first start out, you don't know, have no idea what you can do. So obviously you need to try. Yes, I tried it before, so I know what roughly will work for me. But still, when you are out this far in the workout, you're already fatigued. Will be an important factor. So always form is always form over anything. Over weight, it's just form. With this one, if you manage to do 10 to 12 reps, that is a clear sign, with correct form of course, a clear sign that you need to increase the weight. So first set I did 12 reps, second set with bigger weight I managed to do 12 reps. So for the third set I will increase the weight a little bit more than I did before. So that's going to give me close to fatigue on the third and last set. Game, tricep, start to feel really good. Time to kill it completely. Shake it up. Then rest this time, but the last one was quite clearly with momentum, already fatigued. So what you do when you are reaching failure, obviously if you don't have a spotter and you're doing a sort of exercise where you can use momentum, just try to use momentum for the positive part of the movement, like let's say a military press. Just try to have with your legs, or with a bench press, or also do bridge or whatever you can. Just press it out and then focus and hold the negative part of the movement as long as you can, so you have all the benefits of the working muscle. And then also bear in mind that the negative part of the movement counts slightly more than the positive part of the movement, so just keep that in mind when you're doing that next. So for the last exercise, triceps, I will use these two ropes. So it's going to be tricep kickback, not the traditional one with dumbbells. I have the opportunity now to use cable for it, and with the cable, as with the previous one, you will be able to hold a lot more tension. The range of motion, it will be equal and intense the whole way out. So this is literally going to burn your tricep down. With this one, I always recommend to keep very, very, very short rest period. I would say like 40 seconds to 50 seconds even, and then just try to be consistent and fight through the pain. It's definitely worth it. This is the last exercise you do for your tricep. Obviously, it's not ideal that one of the ropes is longer than the other one, so try to make it equal here, and then step back, slightly bend forward, and extension is the key. Extend it and hold it extended as much as you can. It's gonna hurt, it's gonna be painful, but hey, no pain, no gain. You need to fight for it. That's good. Second set, didn't increase the weight because it was quite a struggle. I will try to fight it through with the same weight this time as well. And if I succeed and it's going to be any better, then I might move the weight up a little bit. No, it's not gonna happen. The weight we stayed the same. Because it's fucking nuts. Last set. Let's get it. Definitely done now. After the tricep, we move on. Obviously, tricep, shoulders, abs, calves, small muscle, small rest period. You can do volume, you can do a lot more in short amount of time. So where not really with chest, but more with like legs and back, you need to take your time, have your rest period in order to be ready for the next thing to attack. Even when you do heavy weight on chest, you will need time. But with shoulders, with triceps, you don't need a lot more time. So as soon as I finished, literally, as soon as I put down the weight here for triceps, I'm getting ready for the next exercise, which is going to be cable Y raises. YY. So why it's coming from the movement. So basically you have the cables crossing each other and you're lifting upwards but then sideways as well, and that will train and activate your a little bit of rear delt but more of the mid delt. That's what we want to train today. And again, when comparing to dumbbell lateral raise, which we'll do later, this is going to train the muscle in the bottom part of the movement, in the extended part of the movement, which you can't do with dumbbells, because as soon as you going lower than somewhere here is normal tension on the muscle. So the tension, all the tension is up here, and on the bottom part of the movement is nothing, which you can achieve with this particular. For the wide raises, today I will use handle, but then you can also do that without a handle. There's a tool which unfortunately I don't have today. Basically you can attach the cable to your wrist, and I realized after a long time of training that if I will manage to exclude my wrist and my hand from the movement, somehow I have a lot more muscle activation, if that makes sense. But unfortunately today I don't have it with me, so I will use handle, which is still good, but you can make it better with certain things. And obviously will definitely worth if you invested in one and you don't rely on the gym equipment in this regard. Start from here and then you raise it up and down, all the way down. Just control the movement, and then up again and control the movement. Because remember again, the bottom part of the movement is which you won't be able to train when doing shoulders with dumbbells, and that's what we try to put emphasis on. You can feel it right from the start. That is giving you really, really nice pump, but actually makes your shoulders look round and wide. So first one felt surprisingly good. I mean, not easy, but not as hard as I expected. So I will gradually increase the weight until I feel that it's a real effort. Sorry. Let's try with this weight. Let's see how hard it feels. Obviously with shoulders, the fatigue comes instant. So you up till 6, 7, 8 reps, and just from one rep you will feel like, oh God, I can't lift my arms. Ooh. Always control the weight, control the negative, and then focus on what you're trying to kill. That felt really good. That felt like a day and night difference, although I just literally lifted one pin from 25 to 30. That already felt like night and day. So that's how shoulder works. Small muscle, really easy to kill, really easy to work, but not as easy to achieve correct form. Probably shoulders are one of the most difficult ones to achieve correct form, and not letting other muscles to take over the work, like chest, like traps and so on. So very important to focus on that. Right, so 40 seconds up. Just out of nowhere I changed my mind. I'm not gonna increase the weight, because that last one felt absolute savage. So just trying to keep correct form with this one, and I will be very happy if I will succeed. Now after that, we're going back where it all started. Back to the dumbbells. For the last exercise, I'm going to do seated dumbbell lateral raises. This one will finish up, probably giving me a little bit more trouble on the top part of the movement, as I explained earlier. And also, I'm doing it always seated because I can't help it momentum. No matter how hard you try not to use momentum, when you are doing it standing, you will still use a little bit of lift from your calves. So if you are seated, that's completely out of the game, and then you can focus on whatever actually you want to train. The weight on this one is an absolute joke. So if I want to do this correctly, won't be able to lift anything heavier than that, probably ever. As we're here, we could talk a little bit about correct form on this one, because this is probably one of the most difficult exercises to do it correctly, and again to train the muscle you actually meant to train and not the helping muscles. So with dumbbell lateral raise, very important, you need to keep the shoulders pressed, pushed down, because as soon as you let your shoulders raise a little bit, you will use traps, and that is going to take a good part of the work over from the shoulders, and you will end up doing that, which will still work the shoulder, but if you do press down movement, you will do delt and not traps and not anything else. If during the movement, at any point, you feel like you struggle pushing the shoulders down, just stop for 1 second in the bottom part of the movement, and then press down and start again. And then again, if you feel like your traps are taking over the work, it's not a problem. Let your arms down, press down, do like a reset, and you're good to go again. It's very important, if you're not doing that and your shoulders are not down, your mid delts are not going to be trained properly. As you can tell, I was no longer able to go past this part of the movement, which means fatigue shoulder. If I try any harder, it's going to inevitably happen that my traps will take over the work, so I don't want that, so I just stop there. There is a very useful machine, completely forgot the name of the machine, like a lateral raise machine. There is a specific name of that machine, which unfortunately my gym doesn't have. So shout out to Pew Gym, sorry. It's time to upgrade on the equipment, because that would be day and night difference in the game. So that machine, I only saw online, I never used one, but if I used that the first time, I could probably cry from happiness. the feedback on that is literally astonishing. So hopefully one day. Okay, so time for the last set of the day. Sorry, not of the night, because we already went past midnight. So it's time to finish. Let's do the last strong shoulder lateral raise. Ideally, try to pulse on the top part of the movement. You won't be able to do that for long anyway, because you run out of steam. That's it, workout done. Just before we head off to the changing room to go home, I just want to mention that you guys need to bear with me because my speaking skills and everything gets improved on the go. I'm still starting out, so please don't judge me for that. I hope you enjoyed today's workout. I hope that the workout gave some or a lot of people value, and please give me a like, and if you like it, subscribe to my channel as well, because that would help me out a lot. And if you have any questions, just comment down below, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.